This is fabulous. Just over a year ago, we officially opened our Bronze Age house, and this house was based on archaeology excavated at Dunchill in Salisbury Plain. Today, we're going to have a look at what this house looks like 1 year on. So it's not unlike the day of the official opening when there was a little gap in the thatch. It wasn't quite finished on that lovely day. Hey Paul, are you okay up there?
I'm fine.
I just see a hand. So Paul is up there replacing some of the thatch. So over the last year, one of the issues that we've noticed in this house is that the thatch has been slightly too thick. So it doesn't allow the smoke to percolate through it, which makes it a really uncomfortable place to sit in for any long period of time. What stage are you at up there?
Well, we're finally at the point where we're putting it back on. So it's nice to feel like we're getting somewhere with it. We're moving in the right direction now, but yeah, so I've had to pull about half of the thatch off.
What was the thickness looking like? So here I know that you're supposed to start really thick at the bottom.
Yeah, so I think the thickness from the bottom carried on through the top, so at points it was probably about this thick, which just when you looked at it, you thought there's absolutely no chance of the smoke getting through that. So we're putting it on a lot thinner now. Hopefully when we put it back on, it should be enough for the smoke to come through.
And is it easier to thatch when it's thinner? I know it's hard work when you're trying to get through that thickness.
It's way easier, because what I've got to do is get my hand through the layers of thatch that are under the reed that are underneath it, and now it's much easier because the layer on top is so thin, or much thinner. But before I was trying to get my hand through layers of reed this big, and it's just almost impossible to get through. So it's much easier, it's quicker, I can get a lot more done. So yeah, it's good. It's going well so far, I think.
Excellent. So how many more days do you think it's going to take for the rethatching?
I think if I was here every day, I think I'd probably get it done in about 2 to 3 weeks, I reckon. And
then it'll be really nice to light the fire, and hopefully we'll see some smoke percolating out.
I have to say, I'm already dreading that moment in a funny sort of way. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to see if it works, but I kind of hope, just fingers crossed, it works, because otherwise it's a lot of work. But then it's another experiment, isn't it? And I guess so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're learning as we go, and that's the whole point of what we do in experimental archaeology. So, and it's something that we don't have any evidence for either. So there's no evidence of what a roof looked like. And I think that we might still have some difficulties because the door is really low, and we've learned in other buildings that definitely affects that smoke ceiling. So I think it'll be really good, and you're obviously doing a very good job.
Thank you.
So the main part of this experiment was looking at different walling materials, and there was no evidence for any kind of walling in the original archaeology, so it provided a really, really unique opportunity for us to test different construction techniques and different materials. So in the whole house there are 8 different panels. This first panel immediately inside the door is made from hazel wattle on the inside, which you can't see. On the outside there's a bank of turf leaning up against the wall, and on the inside here is covered in a nice coating of daub. And the first thing that we see in this is that it's quite heavily cracked. And one of the reasons for this is we've noticed that this has been very, very tempting for little hands. So lots of children, when they visit, just can't resist pulling pieces off. So it's quite likely that we would have to re-daub this at least once a year, probably similar to what people might have done in the past in kind of an annual clean-up or tidy up of their homes. On the outside of this first panel, this is the bank of turf, which you can see has settled in really, really nicely. It's become quite solid. We've had to put this post in place because, again, it's been really tempting for children to kick it as they come into the house. So it's one of the site formation processes that may not have happened in antiquity, but we've certainly experienced it here. In this section, we've used split hazel with a bank of turf on the outside, and instead of putting daub on, we've left the interior bare. Immediately I can feel the air coming through, so that's interesting in that it's not making a particularly cozy house. So if you were to have a building constructed just using this technique, you're going to get quite a lot of air through. So the daub is definitely helping that process and keeping it a little bit more airtight. The other thing that we've noticed down here is that it looks like there's been a little bit of rodent action, which we see a lot in these types of buildings. On this panel, we've also used wattle on the inside. This is covered again with a layer of daub, but this time we've left a panel on the top here to allow some ventilation through to see how that performs. This one has also been painted. using different pigments, mainly ochres, and they've also lasted quite well, so you can still see very clearly the designs that were originally put on. So 1 year in, this wall is still looking very good. Interestingly, it has no rodent action, so it's quite a long section of wall. So good old wattle and daub, once again, stands the test of time. So this panel also has wattle inside, a loose earth on the outside and a little bank, and a daubed interior. Again, it's really, really sound looking. This has actually a chalk plaster over it, you can see it. So it's very little cracking, hardly any at all. But the one issue that you do see is that there's a whole series of bulges happening down in this section here. So that could be for several reasons. It may be that there's rodent activity within the wall and that's causing the inside of the wall to collapse, but they're not coming through. It could be that the wattle is just rotting and it's causing it to bulge out. It also will be probably a result of the pressure from the soil bank on the outside pushing it in slightly. So that's something that we definitely will have to watch. It's likely that it will still survive for many, many years, and we have seen this in other roundhouses that we have on site, but it will definitely need attention at some point as there is a danger of some collapse in the interior. This panel is quite unusual, and we're calling it a gabion wall for the very reason that it's got 2 panels of wattle with about a 20 centimetre gap in between, and it's stuffed with sheep's wool. It's been covered in a layer of daub and it's been given a chalk wash over the front. And it's remained incredibly well intact, so there's no cracking that I can see, a couple of little superficial cracks, but otherwise it's really sound, really snug. So unlike the other wall where we've left it exposed, there's no air coming through here whatsoever. But again, the one issue that we do see is that there's a little mouse hole. This one is clearly been welcomed because somebody has made him a little door. And I imagine that's one of the original build team who took a shine to it. So that's super cute. Finally, we have clunch walls. So clunch, or sometimes called cob, is composed of chalk, crushed chalk, with a little bit of straw and water. And you can see that it has not budged, so it is like prehistoric concrete. So that's really impressive. Also, we notice that there are absolutely no rodent holes in the clunch, so they're not liking eating through the chalk, which is really interesting. Oh, hi,
Hello.
So
I've come down to spend some time in the Bronze Age.
good to see you. Good to see you. Well, we've been doing the 1 year on analysis and looking at what kind of condition the walls are in and what the roof is doing, obviously. And Elaine, of course, was one of the original excavators and builders. So if this was your house and you had to build it all using one walling material, which would you choose?
If I had to live in one, I'd live in the one with the fleece inside it, because that would be nice and cosy.
Yeah, it's still really snug, isn't it? And there's not a breath of air coming through that. It's still really nice and toasty warm.
So whoever's living in there must be nice and warm.
Well, yeah, that's why they've got the door. The one that we don't think, though I certainly don't think, is something that people might have used in a house that was lived in all year round, is the open split hazel with the turf on the back. If you go over there, you can feel gale force winds almost coming through.
So what would your wall of choice be if you were going to live in here?
I think that I would have the gabion wall if I could eliminate the rodents. So in terms of eliminating the rodents, my second choice would certainly be the clunch wall.
I mean, the clunch was really time consuming to build.
Okay.
Because you could only do a little bit at a time, then you have to leave it to dry. But once it's dry, it's just solid, isn't it? And
interestingly, you built this in the summer, so that's something that you'd have to take into account, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a summer build, for sure. But I think it stayed the test of time for the first year. It's only 1 year old, so we might expect it to last for at least maybe 10 to 15 years, all going well. And I know there's been a little bit of repair on some of the walls, but otherwise it's lasted really well, and it bodes well for the future, I think.
I think it's going to be here a while.
Yeah, as long as Paul doesn't come through the roof.